Let's be real, every business wants more leads. But what if I told you that the real magic happens after you get the leads? Today, I'm pulling back the curtain to show you step by step how our lead magnet and email nurture workflow actually turns leads into loyal clients. This is how I was able to scale my business to make multiple seven figures. Hi, if you don't know me, I'm Lisa. I am a business coach, and after helping thousands of business owners scale to seven figures as well, I can tell you that it's not just about the number of leads, it's about what you do with the leads you already have. Too many businesses have plenty of leads in their business, but you're not actually optimizing them for sale. If you're tired of the constant hustle, the what marketing funnel should I add on next? Should I do social media? Should I try paid ads? Then this video is for you. What I'm showing you today is a glimpse into the work that I do with my clients that are scaling from 6 figures to 7 figures. What I'm showing you in today's video isn't the shiny, what makes a reel go viral, but instead the back-end systems that do the work for you 24/7, even when you're not at your desk, that actually starts helping you make more money. So here's a process that I use that is simple, repeatable, and scalable. Now, when people first have their touch point with you and your business, it's generally through some form of marketing that you've done. It could be through word of mouth, social media, paid ads, SEO, partnership. For the purposes of this video, it doesn't matter how you do your marketing itself. What we're actually going to focus on here is when you actually get that lead into your business. Now, somebody moves from being a random to being a lead in your business when you're able to collect some form of data from them. Typically, this is an email address or a phone number, because once you actually have their contact details, then you have the agency to actually start reaching out to them and start nurturing them in order to move them into a sales call. Now, this diagram is actually part of a much greater pipeline that I work with my clients. So for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to simplify it so that we can focus on how you convert leads into customers. So let's talk about these step by step so you can see how nurturing these leads into eventually a sales call then leads to more sales for you and your business. So how do we move somebody from being a random that we don't know who is interacting with our business into someone who has given us their email? The first step is actually to create a lead magnet that people want. Now, when you're creating lead magnets, you don't just want to guess what people want. You actually want to collect data from them. You actually want to ask your audience what their most common pain points are. Ask them what they are struggling with and what they feel they need help on the most. Now, a lead magnet is a free resource that you can provide to people in exchange for them giving you their email address. So as you can see here, I created this blog where I was providing value to students, teaching them about this specific topic that they would need to study on in order to do their exams. Now, inside this blog, I had my lead magnet, which was a free resource. And for them to access the free resource, they needed to fill in their name and their email address in order to get the sample. Now, how do you know what type of lead magnet you should actually create? Don't just guess. Write down the most common pain points your audience or your customers currently experience. Now, if you don't know, then interview them, ask them questions, and then create a lead magnet that helps to resolve one common pain point that they have. So for example, if your students really struggle with breaking down essay topics because they don't know where to start, then perhaps that would be your lead magnet where you teach them how to break down an essay topic, where to start. Here are some of the lead magnets that I've created for my coaching business. Your lead magnet should be actionable and easy to consume. The faster someone can actually get value, the more likely they're actually to sign up and stick around. The lead magnet itself doesn't have to be too long. This one here is about 16 pages, but that's because we've prettified it, we've enlarged the text, made it really readable, easy to digest. You want to provide a really big juicy nugget inside your lead magnet, but at the same time, you don't want to overwhelm your leads with too much information as well. So make sure you strike that fine balance. Now, once somebody has opted in, they don't just download and disappear into the ether. You have their emails now, and so what you want to do is you want to make sure that you nurture them. You may recall from my recent videos that just because somebody has downloaded a lead magnet from you doesn't mean that they're going to jump into a sales call straight away and get converted. Some people need a bit of time. They don't necessarily have the trust and rapport with you and your business yet. So what you want to do is, rather than just letting that lead disappear into the ether, especially if they haven't booked in a sales call, you want to actually start nurturing them. Start doing more with the leads that you currently have inside your funnel. So how do you actually do this? Once someone has opted in, I set up a 5-part welcome sequence that introduces who I am. I share quick wins that I've had with my clients. I tell them a little bit more about me and the business. And essentially the goal here is to build trust, deliver value, and encourage engagement with you and your business. So I use ConvertKit for my email software. And I personally love having email software because automation is our friend. All you need to do is set up this welcome sequence once. And what it means is that every new subscriber gets the same high quality experience. So when somebody has decided to give me their email in exchange for a lead magnet, the lead magnet I had here was the biggest mistakes I made making my first 6 figures. So this is another lead magnet that I currently have available. If you scroll down, you can see you can fill in your first name, your email address, and in exchange for this, I will give you this ebook that I have available. Now on the back end, when someone actually submits that form, it triggers this automation. You can see that there are 5 emails in this sequence and they get sent out every 1 to 3 days. So over the course of say 1 to 2 weeks in total. Now, the first email is always a, hey, here's the thing that you requested, go ahead and download it and make sure you get into it. And I always love to have some sort of engagement call to action, which is love for you to reply this email and let me know one of those aha moments as soon as it happens. And what I find really helpful is when people actually submit these aha moments back to me, they read the book, they find it valuable, I actually can then screenshot what they say and use it as testimonials for the ebook, which then helps to increase the conversion rate of this landing page and then brings in even more leads for the lead magnet. So from there, a few days later, I'll ask them, how did you go? And I'll try to incentivize a bit more engagement as well. I find that the more you can build a relationship with that person, help them feel seen, help them feel connected to you and your business, the more likely they actually will trust you, build rapport, and then eventually buy from you. Next is the time my tutor copied my business. So this is more so just sharing a little bit of the behind the scenes of me building my business and sharing with them a pain point that I know a lot of business owners fear. In this particular email, I'm actually addressing a common pain point that I know a lot of my clients face. They fear that when they start hiring people to replace them as tutors, that their tutors are just going to steal their clients. They're going to copy their business and go and start off their own businesses. And so I share with them that story, that I've been through this myself, and here are the core lessons that I've actually learned as a result. And so in doing so, what I'm showcasing is that I am a coach that has walked the journey. I've been there, I've done that. And so I'm trying to establish a little bit more trust and connection with that person and really help showcase that I have that empathy for them. I get them. And then that's why potentially if they'd like to sign on and work with me, that I am the right fit for them because I have been there, I have done that, I have experienced these struggles. Next is I provide value. The next email I do is less so about that connection piece and more about actually positioning myself as the expert who can provide value, who can provide advice. And so in this one, it's one simple strategy to boost your tutoring leads. And then finally, in my last email to them of this nurture series is I show them what the next steps are. So ready to take your business to the next level. In this, I have a call to action where I showcase to them, okay, here are ways that you can actually start working with me. So that is your welcome sequence. You only need to set it up once. Once it's there, it can be automated through an email software. And you know that when your lead actually gets converted into your business, their first 5 days with you will be filled with jam-packed value to help you build that relationship with them and help them build trust with you. Now, after the welcome sequence, you don't just want to disappear. I send a weekly newsletter with tips, stories, and resources tailored to my audience's needs. So the key with doing a weekly newsletter is that you are being consistent and you want to be relevant and give them timely advice based on what they need at that current point in time. So this is particularly helpful if, say, you have a tutoring business and you know that throughout the school year there are particular curriculum challenges, let's say with exams coming up. If you have exams coming up, then you want to make sure that your weekly newsletter is shaped around that topic of exam preparation. That way it's hyper relevant for the person and they get a lot of value out of the emails that you're sending them. People will stay on your list if they feel seen and supported by you, not if you're just spamming them with, hey, come and work with me. Always think about providing value first. I personally love Gary Vaynerchuk's book, Jab, 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 Right Hook. In it, he teaches this simple formula. Your jabs are your value adds. This is where you show up with free content, helpful tips, and genuine support for your audience. Every jab is about serving your audience, no strings attached. So this is a recent email I sent to my mailing list where I shared with them 5 numbers to sell your business for 7 figures. And this was purely about showcasing to them 5 metrics that actually matter if you're eventually wanting to sell your business. Now, your right hook is your ask. This is where you invite your audience to take action, to buy, to sign up, to book in a call. The right hook comes after you've built your trust and goodwill through your jabs. Now, this is an example of me selling a product that I have available called Double Your Tutoring Profit in 30 Days Roadmap. So in this, I gave them a hard sell and I told them that they can purchase the product here. This is a nice balance I like to work with. I've literally stuck by this formula for over 10 years now, and I spend about 80% of my time doing jabs and 20% of my time asking for the sale. But here's the catch. Just because you've provided value doesn't mean that you're actually owed a sale. Jabs earn you the right to ask, but it doesn't actually guarantee that people will say yes to a sale. Remember that the better your jabs are, the better quality the value you're providing, the more likely your right hook will connect and actually result in a purchase for you. Ultimately, nurturing isn't about sending emails. It's about building real relationships. When you show up consistently and you're delivering value, people will actually look forward to hearing from you. People will look forward to your emails and look forward to that Monday afternoon when they know you're going to be sending them a value nugget. And this is how you eventually turn those subscribers into super fans and eventually clients. Now, if you liked this video and you want to get a copy of the diagram that I've shown today, I'll give you a free copy in the description box below. It's a little bit meta because you'll see that I'll be asking you for your name and your email address. So essentially it is a lead magnet for me and my business. But what that means is you actually go through the email funnel. So you actually be able to see my welcome sequence and then the weekly newsletters that come afterwards as well. If you gain a lot of value out of this video, I'd love for you to comment the word nurture and share with me what you plan to do next in your business to nurture your leads better. Now, if you're ready to take your email list to the next level, watch my next video on how to turn leads into paying clients step by step. I teach you how you could potentially be missing out on tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars by not following up with your leads. Click here to check it out, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video. Bye.